Today in PA is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Stay nice and cozy this season by heading to Renewal to get 20% off every window and door with nothing down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals for more information. Offer ends December 31st. The owners of several McDonald's have been hit with child labor violations. In Bucks County, a school district ends its contract with a consulting firm which promised an ideology-free education. More Rite Aids are closing, and a beloved hot dog vendor retires. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. The owners of 5 McDonald's in western Pennsylvania have been accused by the U.S. Department of Labor of violating child labor laws, reports PennLive. Owned and operated by Paul and Megan Sweeney through their company Endor Inc., feds found that these McDonald's had over 30 kids, all of whom were either 14 or 15 years old, working later and longer than the laws allowed. These kids also worked outside of permissible hours, including during school. The Sweeneys had to pay more than $26,000 in civil fines as a result of this investigation. Earlier this year, Penridge School District in Bucks County hired Vermilion, a consulting company which promised to deliver a quote-unquote ideology-free education, reports the Philadelphia Inquirer. The first district in the country to do so, actually. But that contract all came to an end as of Monday when the outgoing board ended its contract with the company after months-long criticism. A number of people from the community and faculty alike voiced their concern over the changes recommended by Vermilion, including using what's called the 1776 curriculum, a quote-unquote patriotic education that's been criticized as ideologically driven, as a resource for social studies teachers. Vermilion turned in its final report on the district's teachings with the end of its contract, which identified quote-unquote potential concerns in some of Penridge's classes, such as quote, a view that police are systemically racist, unquote, and quote, a rejection or criticism of what critics would call more traditional values. More Rite Aids are closing, states Pittsburgh's Action News 4. The company already announced that over 150 of its stores will shutter nationwide as it grapples with the fallout of bankruptcy, and now it's added 32 more to that list. That 32 includes 2 in Pittsburgh, one that's downtown, and one that's in Hazelwood. Gus's Hot Dogs has been a Philadelphia staple for decades, begins Billy Penn. Since 1978, Gus has been slinging dogs to hungry people stopping by his corner on 5th and South, which, in the words of longtime customer Mitchell Cohen, is, quote, a lot of hot dogs. Well, Gus retired back in October after nearly half a century in the spot, and now there's a petition to rename his old location to Gus's Corner. It currently has 442 signatures out of its next goal of 500 as of the recording of this episode. That wraps up today's episode. Hope everyone's staying warm. For even more news, head on over to PennLive.com. Also, please don't forget to rate this podcast and to leave it an honest review if you can. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll be back again tomorrow for another round of Today in PA. Today in PA is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen of Central Pennsylvania. Stay nice and cozy this season by heading to Renewal to get 20% off every window and door with nothing down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Call 717-727-7558 or drop by rbacentralpa.com/deals for more information. Offer ends December 31st.